Hi guys, today we are going to talk about what are your options to stay in the US. So when people think about moving to the US, they often think about finding a job. But what I know is that before jobs, there is something more fundamental, and that is your visa status. So for me, the whole question about the visas didn't come from the beginning. It actually started because of my child. When I first came to the US, my child was only 3 years old, and after 1 year, I didn't feel like his English had improved that much yet. But at the same time, I knew that at that age, children can pick up language very quickly if they stay long enough. So I started thinking, I have already spent so much time and money being here. Should I stay 1 more year just to give him more time to adapt? Maybe after 2 years, his English would be much better, and at least everything we invested in the first year wouldn't feel like wasted. But the moment I had that thought, I realized something very real. If I wanted to stay longer, I had to solve my status. At that time, I was on a tourist visa, which means I could live here. I could spend money here. I could experience everything here, but I was not allowed to work here. And that creates a very strange feeling because you are physically here, but you are not really inside the system. So I wasn't just thinking about making money anymore. I was trying to figure out something like very like visas. It is more basic, which is how can I stay here legally and eventually, have the right to work. And as I started looking into it, I realized there are many different pathways, but before I go into those options, I want to clarify something. So today, I'm not talking about long-term immigration pathways that require years of planning or very specific qualifications, things like investment-based visas or certain professional transfers. Those are real pathways, but they are not what most people are dealing with in the beginning. What I'm sharing today are the options that people actually look at when they first arrive or when they suddenly realize they need to figure things out. So, as I started looking into it, I began to understand that each path comes with its own logic. For example, some people come through academic routes like the J1 visa, which is often used for visiting scholars or exchange programs. If you are already connected to universities or working in academia, this can be a lateral path. Then there is a student path. On the surface, it sounds simple. You just go back to school, but in reality, it has to make sense. In my case, I already had an MBA and I started in English before. So if I suddenly apply for something like language house, it become hard to explain. Why would you go back to study basic English again? And if it doesn't make sense, it can easily lead to rejection. I also look into another option, which is continuing education. So many universities in the US have a separate section on the official website for continuing education programs, where you can find different certificate or skill-based, courses designed for professional development. So some people explore this path as a way to continuing studying while staying in the US. There are also people who apply for asylum based on their personal situations. This is a legal process that is evaluated individually, usually based on their experiences in their home country. And for some people, this path may allow them to receive work authorization earlier than other options. So naturally, some people consider this direction. But there is also an important limitation. If your case is based on having difficulties in your home country, and later if you go back to your home country, it may not make sense anymore, and it could raise questions about your situation. So it's not just a choice. It's something you have to think about long term. But the more I looked into it, the more complicated everything became. Uh, you talk to different lawyer, different people, you hear different advice, and sometimes it is hard to know what is actually should choose. So looking back, it's more like there were no options. It's like every option came with its own trade-offs. And before you can choose a path, you have to understand what is the system is actually asking from you. That's when I realized that before income, there is a permission. And before choosing a path, you have to understand what actually makes sense. I hope that sharing these real experiences today can be helpful to you if you are currently thinking about coming to the US to live or study. I hope this gives you some perspective and something you can refer to. And in my next video, I'll continue to share how I slowly started to rebuild my life here, step by step. Thank you guys. Have a great day. See you again.